So I'm Robin Gregg. I currently work for Sport Northern Ireland and the Sports Institute for Northern Ireland. My role as the Performance Systems Manager has 4 key focuses: club development, coaching development, talent development and leading on high performance coach development. My work takes me across the UK and across the whole of Ireland, very much at a strategic level, trying to develop systems in the sports that improve athletic performance. I was a student on the first ever Masters in Sports Development and Coaching 2010-2011 at University of Ulster, Jordanstown. Graduated with distinction in 2011. I know there's a part-time available option, but I did a full-time option even though I was employed full-time. But I think one of the really positive things was that the course was able to work with me to allow me to balance my employment with the needs of the course, which I think was critical. The course was over 5 modules and a project at the end, so relatively full-time, probably a day and a half a week, but that doesn't really tell the full story. That's full-time. You must do all the other work around that, which actually I found really enjoyable, to do all the reading and stuff in behind the course. The key take-home messages for me around this course was the opportunity it gave me to critically reflect on the sports development and coaching industry and really get inside what the research and what the theory was behind what you do in the actual industry up front. And that opportunity you don't get when you work in the industry. The Masters in Sports Development and Coaching really provided that, so I could critically reflect on my own practice, but also critically reflect on the practice of others and use the research as a basis to underpin that. 2 particular things I think are very important as real take-home messages about the assessment process. Number 1, it's very tailored to the industry that they end up working in. Let's give you an example of that. In the professional practice module, we'd have spent a little time looking at sports development plans, strategies that governing bodies might develop. If you want to work in the industry, it's very important that you actually know how to critique those properly and also how to develop them and understand the rationale of how they were developed. So I thought that was very real life, industry-specific experience, very important and a great part of the assessment. The second thing, I think is probably the most important thing, was the flexibility in the course. I was able to tailor my assessments to the area of most interest to me, which was elite sports development, and that was very applied to the work that I do in the industry. And I thought that was very important. It meant that I got my head right inside the theory, the underpinning research of the area that's of most interest to me in my employment, and I think that worked very well. I had a very positive experience. The staff team was particularly valuable. We had people with a very heavy research, academic research background, which was perfect for this course, because that's the bit where I would have been weaker, and I need to understand the theory and the research that underpins the work that we do frontline. But also there was a balance then with sports development and coaching professionals that had actually worked in the industry, who were able to bring that to bear into the classes, the assessments and the teaching that we were involved in, and that linked very strongly, I thought, with the academic side of it, which then you could sort of see the connection, because often in the industry I work in, those 2 things are apart, and I think this course starts to bring them together and gets to understand how one's important to the other and one informs the other. Personal experience of the Masters in Sports Development and Coaching, I would recommend the course. I really enjoyed it. It's very relevant to the industry of sports development and coaching if you want to work in that industry. You will get as much as you put into it. It's not a course to come to and be taught at. It's a course for you to come and critically reflect on what it is you want to do in the industry and think how you can apply that into what you may want to do in the future. So that's where you'll get the best value from it. I had a very strong experience because I was able to discuss, critically reflect on areas that were very relevant to my work, and that you do not get that opportunity in the work and the level I work at the minute. You're often managing, firefighting, you're worried about strategy, operational plan, business plans and stuff like that. But the opportunity to step back inside this Masters and really look inside an area and give yourself a real strong rationale to why you're doing what you're doing, I thought was very important, and this course is very valuable in doing that.